Hi guys, long time. Yeah, just talking about something a bit different today. Talking a bit about branding, yeah, a bit about marketing, because it's a very important part of business, but it's often neglected because it's misunderstood or it's not taken as seriously as it should be taken. So I'm just gonna talk about it for a bit. Um, One thing that is very valuable to a business is return customers. A successful African entrepreneur once said that one of the problems with Africa and African business in general, not everybody, just in general, not majority, is that a lot of Africans, when you're in Africa, try to make as much money from you as they can in that one sale, rather than letting you have a bit more, rather than giving you a bit more, so that you can come back in future. And it's a very well known business principle that the best customers are return customers. Customer loyalty is such an important factor in business. It's how people like Tesco survive. It's how people like Coca-Cola survive. Customer loyalty. It's because you go to Tesco, every week that they're rich, not because you went there once and spent a lot of money. It's because you go there often. It's because you go there like every day to buy chewing gum, to buy milk, to buy bread. That's why they're successful. Not because, you know, once in a month you spend £100 there. It's because they, they intrigue you regularly. You have to come. And how branding fits in with that is customer loyalty is really important. I create this little category, and I say there's three categories. There's to know, knowing. There's being a fan. There's being a supporter. Um, and what you want is more supporters. Supporters that are the ones who spend money. Supporters are the ones who promote. Tell their friends about your brand. Supporters are the ones who really get you out there. It's if you need someone to vote for you for an award, it's your supporters that would do it. Not necessarily your fans, and not those who know. They can do it, and they might do it in certain circumstances, but it's supporters are the ones you rely on. For those who don't know, I'm kind of the manager of a company called VBlog, which is a fashion brand, and I realized that in doing it and learning, I'm learning that there's a lot of people who know about us. There's a lot of people who are fans of us who like what we do. But there's a lot of people who support us and actually spend the money, and the numbers of all of those kind of differ a lot. So I give you a famous example. Um, Lots of people know about Nicki Minaj. Lots of people know about Justin Bieber. I know about Justin Bieber, but I'm neither a fan of Justin Bieber nor a supporter of Justin Bieber. Not because I have anything against Justin Bieber, but simply because his brand isn't something I choose to endorse or I choose to support. But I know about Justin Bieber, so a lot of people see people and think, oh, because everybody knows about them, they must have as much. They must be making as much impact as they need to, because a lot of people know about them. When in reality, um, just because people know about you doesn't mean they're spending money on your product. So a lot of people think, oh yeah, I'm getting out there. Lots of people are, and they're wondering, why am I getting out there? Why is it that lots of people know about me, lots of people know about what I'm doing, but such little people are buying into my product? It's because you haven't created a brand that brings that customer loyalty. That's usually the main reason why. And what I mean by that is, when you show consumers, when you show the public, when you show the media, when you show everybody outside of your business or even inside of your business, but when you show everybody what you're loyal to, they become loyal to you for the same thing. Example: if I decide to be, the most aggressive, um, um, active fighter for women's rights in the home, for example, and I say, women should be free to do what they like, and yada yada yada, and yada yada yada. Because I'm showing loyalty to that, I will attract supporters, not necessarily just fans. People might know about me. People might be fans of me. So when I say fans, those are fans are people who are in favor of what you're doing. So fans are people who like you and will, if it was you and somebody else, they'll choose you over them. But fans are not necessarily people who spend money. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. You drop an artist will drop an album. There's supporters who are hard body. They join the mailing list as soon as the album came out. They're lining up by the door to, those are supporters. Supporters are the ones who, they come to your, they say you're at HMV. They're lining up, overnight to come and get you to sign their album cover or their book cover or whatever. Those are supporters. Fans are those who, so and so's at HMV. I'm passing by. Let me pop in. I'd like to see them. Not I'm gonna wake up in the middle of the night to go and get this person to sign. Those are supporters. Fans are just the people who they're in favor of you. They like what you're doing. They support what you're doing to a certain degree. They're interested but not committed. Supporters show commitment, and those who know just have a knowledge of you. I know who the Arctic Monkeys are, but who cares? I know who lots of people are. If I saw Misha B walk down the street, I'd know Misha B. But knowing and being a fan and being a supporter are different things. So anyway, back to what I was saying. So if I showed loyalty to, fighting for women's rights and, was really radical about it, because I've shown such a loyalty to that, those who share that same loyalty will become a part and buy into what I'm doing. So a lot of us in our business stuffs and our business strategies and all of that, we kind of don't create anything to be loyal to. We don't create anything we don't have a value system. We don't have a personality about our brand. We have colors. We say, yeah, this is the brand's color and this is the brand's idea, but we don't really have values. So a perfect example is Pret a Manger, if that's how you pronounce it. Now, one of their values is, they want things to be fresh and they want to reduce wastage. So something they do to sort of show their loyalty to that is they make everything that they sell on the day, or they say they do. I'm not there, but this is what I've been told. So they say they make everything that you eat on the day, and if you don't buy out in the evening, they give all of it, all the excess to the homeless, so they don't throw it away. They give all the extra stuff that they have to the homeless. So it's like, by that, they're showing a loyalty to that cause. They're showing a loyalty to the reducing of waste, and also to the keeping everything fresh and making it fresh on the day. So because of that loyalty, a lot of people will follow them due to that loyalty. A lot of people, they'll get a lot of return customers, and people will choose them over other people because they feel that these guys are loyal to what I'm loyal to. I'm loyal to reducing wastage. I'm going to join them. So it's like, we need to be able to show, either through our customer service, through our marketing, through our images, through our product, our packaging, any way you can, show your values, show your personality. So for example, perfect example for Bibi Shiki, a part of our personality is we want to be clean. We want to be clean and clear. So with as much as we try and do with all of our marketing and things like that, we try not to make everything too, messy and too, messy. So we just put the logo and one word there. We did a flyer for an event, and the flyer had just the website and the name and an image. It wasn't like, a bio at the back with so much information. No, we just kept it clean. What that does is, subconsciously, the clean and simplicity of a lot of our stuff will be registered in people's minds, and they'll be more attracted to us because of that. Perfect example of that, a famous example is Apple. Go to an Apple store. I spoke to somebody in an Apple store. They told me that Apple people sweep the floor every 3 hours. Somebody sweeps the floor every 3 hours to maintain a clean environment. They don't have all these crazy posters on the wall. They have like very minimal posters, very minimal designs. The table's clean, clear. Everything is very clean about them. Even just their simplicity is one of their their values and their ethoses and their brand personality. They like simplicity. I watched a video about the story of the iPod, and Steve Jobs. They made the first iPod, and the scrolly thing that was on the iPod that you used to like scroll down to see the songs or to see the artist or whatever you're looking for. They were getting from A to Z in 6 seconds. He said he made them work for an extra 2 weeks because he wanted it to be done in 3, I think, so that in 3 seconds you could scroll from A to Z. So he made them go an extra 2 weeks. He delayed the release, I believe, for an extra 2 weeks, just because he wanted them to have that. He wanted it to be even simpler. He thought 6 seconds is too long. Like 1, 2. No, we want it simple. 1, 2, 3. We're at Z. That's what he wanted. And because of that simplicity, a lot of people buy in to the Apple brand. A lot of people buy into the Apple dream, to be honest, because Apple is just so simple. So it's like, we need to sit down with our own ideas and our own things and say, you know what, this is what I'm going to do with my brand. This is the values I'm going to have for my brand. These are the things I'm going to promote. These are the things I'm not going to promote. These are the things I'm going to stand for. These are what I'm not going to stand for. When we begin to show loyalty to that, our amount of supporters will increase, and automatically the people who know about us will increase. But it's about our supporters, because it's the supporters that you make the impact on and you make the money from. You don't necessarily make money from people who know about you. Just because I know of Justin Bieber doesn't now mean he's going to make any money from me. Realistically, he's not going to make any money from me. Maybe in a roundabout way, but not directly anyway. So knowing me knowing him doesn't help him in any way. He needs me to support him, which is why stylists go through so much. They get paid so much because they want to portray a message through the clothing of the brand of the person of Justin Bieber, which is why people that do the music videos, they try to portray something about the brand, which is why everything about him, all of his marketing, his PR, everything is to portray a brand, to portray a certain loyalty to a certain thing, so that those who are loyal to that thing, or those who are interested or committed to that thing also, will become drawn. And what happens is when people change from their loyalty, because a lot of people say, well, I'll do this when I get more money. When I got more money, I'll do this. But then, even whether you like it or not, you're automatically showing a brand. You're showing things about your brand indirectly, even if whether you realize it or not. And what happens is, if your brand is suggesting, for example, Bubushiki, is a brand, and we're using African prints at the moment to portray a few things. And if we presented ourselves as Pan-African, yes, we're not saying that we're not supporting Africa. Don't get twisted. But if we were like very heavy on the Africa, the day that we turn around and say, you know what, we want to collaborate with a Western designer and make something Norwegian, for example, all of a sudden our supporters will be like, hold on a minute, I thought you guys were strictly African. So it's like, if we portrayed ourselves as strictly African and we changed and went against what we are loyal to, all of a sudden we lose supporters, and we have to regain supporters on another level, or in another area. And now trust is broke. When trust can be broken. So a lot of the time people they gain the trust of somebody, and they breach the trust of their followers or their supporters, and they try to gain trust of others. But because the new guys know that you've already let down the old guys, they're reluctant, because it's almost like, nah, these are guys that weren't like this before. And this is a subconscious thing. It's not necessarily a conscious thing that people do. It's very subconscious. It's very, very, people do it without even realizing it. There's certain people who, I remember the story of Nike, and Nike and the whole sweatshop thing. They lost a lot of supporters. They're still making millions now, fair enough, but they lost a lot of supporters, with the way that, with the whole sweatshop thing in India. And apparently in India, Nike is not the most favored brand. So they've lost the whole, and India's got a lot of people in India. So that really affects them. So yeah, I mean, if you leave your comments or whatever, and if people need to know a bit more about branding, I can direct you to some websites and stuff that will definitely help you. But it's very important, as much as you can, to try from the beginning, get the concept of your brand right, get the values of your brand right, get the personality. Your brand needs to be a character. People are going to buy into it. People are going to buy into it long term. They're going to buy into your name, because it's your name that sets you apart from everybody else. As unique as your product is, a lot of products can be replicated and copied, but it's your name and the values around your name and the personality of your name that's going to give you the longevity it has. That's the reality. Yeah, thank you for listening.